Curse! You bring bad luck. I am done with you. He packed all her clothes and belongings into the boot of his car. He dragged her out of the house, shouting, I am taking you back to your stinking village. You dirty, barren woman. You are useless. He drove all the way to Okoyo village, threw her bags onto the ground and pushed her out of the car. Stay here and rot, he shouted, and drove away, leaving her crying in the dust. In the quiet village of Okoyo, everyone knew Jide and Titilayo. They were schoolmates, but Jide was 2 classes ahead of Titilayo. Jide was a very bright student, and everyone believed he would become a great person one day, but fate had other plans. Titilayo was being raised by a sickly single mother and could not pay her school fees. When school threatened to send her away, Jide's heart broke. He loved her deeply and could not watch her drop out. Without telling anyone, he took the money his parents gave him for his own school fees and used it to pay for Titilayo's fees. Months after months, Jide did this. He kept it as a secret, but when the money was no longer enough, he had to make a hard choice. He was in his final year of secondary school, but he stopped going to classes. He dropped out of school completely. He told his parents he was tired of school, but the real reason was so he could work and make money for Titilayo. Every morning, while Titilayo was reading her books in class, Jide went to work on other people's farms. He would clear weeds, carry heavy loads of yam, and do any hard work he could find. He came home dirty and tired every day just to buy textbooks, uniforms, and food for Titilayo. Titilayo thought Jide was just helping her from his pocket money. She didn't know that he had thrown away his own education just so she could have one. Years went by. Jide became a full-time farmer in the village. He worked hard on his own small farm, and every profit he made, he gave to Titilayo. He trained her all the way through secondary school, and when she got admission into the big university, he was the one paying her fees and sending her money every month. He sold his best yams and biggest cassava just to keep her in school. Finally, Titilayo graduated from the university. Jide was so happy. He danced around the village and told everyone, my wife-to-be has finished school. Now we will live a good life together. Then Titilayo went to Abuja for her youth service. That was when everything changed. In Abuja, Titilayo saw big houses, fast cars, and rich people wearing expensive clothes. Her eyes opened, and greed entered into her heart. She started to feel that the village was too small for her now. She looked at herself in the mirror and thought, I am educated, beautiful. Why should I go back to the village and marry a local farmer? When her service year ended, she came back to Okoyo village. Jide put on his best clothes, bought a bottle of wine, and waited by the road to welcome her. He was already dreaming of their wedding day. But when Titilayo stepped down from the car, she looked like a stranger. She was wearing fine shoes, carrying a shiny handbag. She looked at Jide's dirty farm clothes and dirty legs, and she frowned. When Jide ran forward to hug her, she pushed him away. Don't touch me, she shouted. Jide stood still, confused and hot. Titilayo, what is the matter? I am Jide, the one who has been waiting for you. Yes, you are Jide, she said, her voice cold and sharp. But look at you. You are just a local farmer. You have no education. You have nothing. I'm a big girl. Look at me. I am beautiful and educated. You are not in the same class with me. I cannot marry you. You are too low for me. Jide felt as if a heavy stone had fallen on his chest. All the years of sacrifice, all the hard work, all the money he spent, it meant nothing to her now. Just then, the man inside the car who drove Titilayo to the village came down from the car. A man in an expensive suit. He was older but looked very rich. He walked straight to Titilayo, held her waist and smiled at her. Who is this man? Jide asked, his voice shaking. This is Mr. Banji, Titilayo said proudly. He is a big businessman from Abuja. He is my husband-to-be. In fact, he wants to marry me anytime soon, and we will be going back to the city together. Before Jide could say another word, she climbed into the fine car and they drove away, leaving him standing alone in the dust, with his heart broken into pieces. Titilayo thought she had found heaven. She thought she had left poverty and the village behind forever. After her wedding, Mr. Banji took her back to Abuja, and the moment they arrived in Abuja, her nightmare began. Mr. Banji was not the nice man he pretended to be. He was a womanizer. He brought different women to the house every week. If Titilayo complained, he would beat her until she could not stand. He was a very cruel man. Worst of all, Whenever Titilayo got pregnant, Mr. Banji would beat her severely. He would kick her stomach, slap her face, shouting that she was trying to tie him down. Every time she lost the baby, soon she could not get pregnant again. Mr. Banji started calling her names. He would shout at visitors, "This woman is barren. She cannot give me a child. She is a witch. She eats her babies in the stomach." Everyone believed him, not knowing that he was the one causing the pain. Years passed, and Titilayo became thin and sad. She had no friends, and her husband treated her like dirt. One day, he beat her so badly that she had to run out of the house, crying. She had nowhere else to go to, so she went back to Okoyo village. She thought she would still find Jide there, waiting for her. She thought he would help her. But when she got to Jide's house, it was locked. His neighbors told her that Jide has moved to Lagos with an old school friend who came to visit him in the village. Titilayo had no choice. She had no money and no food. So she went back to Abuja, back to the man who treated her like an animal. The beating continued and the insult got worse. Meanwhile, in Lagos, Jide's life has changed completely. His friend gave him a job helping to deliver goods, but Jide worked very hard. He was honest and smart. Soon, him and his friend started a small business together. Luck smiled on them and the business grew big. Jide became a rich man. He met a kind woman named Funke who loved him truly. They got married and had two beautiful children together. Jide built a big house in Lagos and bought fine cars. He was happy, but he never forget where he came from. One day, Mr. Banji came home very angry. He had lost a big contract and he blamed it on Titilayo. He shouted at her, "You are a curse! You bring me bad luck! I am done with you!" He packed all her clothes and belongings into the boot of his car. He dragged her out of his house shouting, "I am taking you back to your stinking village, you dirty barren woman. You are useless." He drove all the way back to Okoyo village, threw her bags onto the ground and pushed her out of the car. "Stay there and rot," he shouted, and drove away, leaving her crying in the dust. Just as Titilayo was sitting in the ground, crying and feeling ashamed, another big beautiful car drove into the village. It stopped right in front of her. The door opened and out stepped a handsome, well-dressed man holding a beautiful woman, two clean children walking behind them. Titilayo looked up and her heart stopped. It was Jide. He did not look like the poor farmer she had left behind. He looked like a king. He was smiling and laughing with his family. Jide looked down and saw Titilayo sitting in the dirt, looking dirty and broken. He stopped walking. The smile from his face disappeared. He stood there staring at her while she looked up at him, full of shame and regrets. Will Jide help the woman who broke his heart? Or will he walk away and leave her to her fate? And what will his wife say when he finds out who this woman is? The story is just getting started.